How do you plan to differentiate yourself among the other candidates in the field? What makes you stand out?
Well, I think it's pretty clear that I'm not like the others. I have a different. One thing, I'm the only person who's kind of stepped forward so far, who lives in the American industrial Midwest in a middle-class neighborhood with a middle-class lifestyle, and I just bring a different perspective. I think some of that's generational, some of that's philosophical, and I'm looking forward to laying that out as we go forward too.
You're surrounded by a group of mayors today, and there could be a few more mayors to hop into this race. How do you feel about that?
I think that's great. I mean, part of what we're trying to get out there is just the idea that mayors and local leadership, because it is a functional level of American government right now, belong on the national stage. I think we're going to do a much better job trying to solve national problems from our communities on out than expecting Washington to sort itself out without some big things changing.
In response to criticism of, well, South Bend's a smaller city, how do you have the experience to run for president? We've never had a mayor president before.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to experience, again, I've got more years of experience in government than the president, and more years of executive experience than the vice president, and more military experience than the two of them put together. So if we want to talk about experience, I welcome that. It's definitely different experience than we're used to seeing. I think that might not be a bad thing right now, because we can't keep doing what we've been doing before. You know, we've been served up this idea that the only formula for my part of the country, for the industrial Midwest, is nostalgia and resentment and turning back the clock. I'm not interested in a restoration of the 90s any more than I'm interested in a restoration of the 50s. We have to do something completely different, and I think in some ways I have maybe a little more latitude to look at that future than some of the other people who might get into.
Do you have any concerns about the Democratic Party overall heading too far to the left and hurting its chances nationally in states in the Midwest and also the Rust Belt as well?
You know, I actually don't think that voters in my part of the country are as ideological as analysts believe. I don't think they lay out all the candidates on a left to right spectrum and pick the person whose dot is closest to where they are. And the evidence I have for that is there's a lot of people where I come from who voted for Barack Obama and Donald Trump and Mike Pence and me. That means there's a lot more to this than ideology. Obviously, our values matter, and I think we should lead with our values, but I don't think that we get a lot of credit for just watering down what we believe and trying to be something we're not.